All right, let's answer this question. Jason asked this: what prop tech have you added in the last year or two that has had the most positive impact? Any you have not added, but yet are excited about? This kind of prop tech's your world. Why don't you tell us anything that you've been excited about that you've seen in the industry, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, I think just the increased focus on repairs and maintenance and how to make that process better for the owners and the residents. You're seeing you're seeing new product come in, but also older product get better. I don't know if I should be plugging a bunch of companies in here. Maybe the guys who are using them could be plugging
You
companies,
plug
but
away. That's what we do.
One
We
that's
shamelessly
go
plug
ahead.
people here. We just
uh,
like to be liked in the industry, so we'll just shamelessly say people's names so that they like it.
yeah, I mean, I've loved to see what Property Meld has continued to do with their data. Ray's done a good job over there. I will say, going back to a question, this kind of ties into the prop tech answer here. I think one of the challenges that I've seen consistently is communication, but we are the middleman. The property manager is the middleman. So choosing the owners that you bring on to manage for is critical, because the resident looks at you as the manager, as the responsible person all the time. And for us as managers, we can only do so much. Like, we can only tell an owner, you need to fix X, Y, and Z. You need to take care of your property. If they don't listen, it falls back onto the manager a lot of times. And informing your owners through data and information of why it's important for them to take care of their properties, to take care of their owners, or to take care of their residents, decreases days on market, gets them better rents, etc. So I wanted to latch back to that because I think repairs and maintenance is a big portion of that problem. So I plugged Meld just because I liked what they're doing right now. I'm working with a company called Boom. They're doing credit reporting and also tenant screening right now. So focusing on the resident experience. What are we providing our residents besides just managing their property and collecting their money? So there's been a ton that have come out in the resident arena. You guys can parlay on that a bit more, maybe with some ones that you're actively working on.
Duke, what have you seen that you've been excited about from a prop tech?
I'm a year and a half removed, so my answers will seem dated. I'd rather pass it to Matthew, or someone else, or Mike that wants to answer it.
Well, I'll tell a quick story that'll relate to you. So we one of the things we used to do with our mastermind is we would have monthly calls. So the calls would look just like this, and we would just sit around and ask each other questions and BS to some degree. Duke actually invited this guy named Steve to one of our calls, and I was like mildly frustrated that we had this kind of like mastermind group, and then Duke had the nerve to invite Steve to the call.
I think you're pretty openly frustrated about it.
Well, not at the time. I mean, I was
Okay.
I just turned my camera off, and I'm just kidding. But he was pitching his new business, and it was an application underwriting business. And it was not a fintech, but definitely a tech company, and they were using all sorts of neat widgets to help make that underwriting process smoother. But ironically, after we hung up, I connected with him, and at the time, and a lot of you have heard me tell this story, I was about 4 days behind on all of our applications, and just shared with him where we were and the dumpster fire that it was. And many of y'all know the answer to the story, but Steve is the founder of a company called Findigs that has absolutely, not only were they great 3 or 4 years ago, but they've continued to get better and better. And one of the big challenges, this is going back to the leasing, one of the big challenges that we're starting to have in the industry, and I'm sure a lot of y'all are experiencing it, is just fraud around documentation. And so Steve's technology is able to identify fraud and make sure that somebody that submits fake pay stubs or something fake gets identified, and it ironically even has like a signature on it on that document that they can pick up. and they know where the document even came from, like what online site. And so, you know, just been really happy with Findigs and how they've helped us get better and better with our underwriting and better with our residents that are moving in.
I will say, Matthew, on that point, like what I've really noticed just from observing from afar the last year is just the current technology out there. Like you spoke on Findigs. I mean, the things that they're layering on so quickly is pretty incredible. So I've been more impressed with existing companies over the last year, that even Appfolio, you know, I mean, Appfolio has done a tremendous job staying, you know, listening to their clients. And I will have to throw out the buzzword AI. Like, I mean, it is real and it's being layered into every aspect of our business. And existing companies, software companies, are really leaning into that heavily. Another one that I'd recommend you all look at is Elise. It's called Elise AI. They're a leasing platform that's pretty. They were heavily focused in multifamily, but now they're getting into single family. So,
And they've actually expanded their offering. They started with leasing, and they do that pretty well. And I think I don't know if they're public about it, but they do it for some really big brand names. But they're also doing it now on the collections side. And I think on their roadmap, they have some other things that they're trying to get into that basically just, you know, chat bots and being able to diagnose certain problems and or have the right responses so that you can manage more with less. So we're good friends with the Elise AI folks. They've been really kind, and we've looked at and are considering their product for Evernest.